Good afternoon and welcome to this episode of Lunch with TCCU. We're so happy that you're joining us and sharing your lunch with us today. Before we dive into today's episode and I tell you what we're going to be addressing, I want to encourage you to like, share, and if you have any comments, please drop them in the comment section. If you have questions, please let us know. On today's episode of Lunch with TCCU, we are looking at youth in the credit union, and we have our very youthful chair of the Education and Marketing Committee here at the St. Vincent's and the Grenadines Teachers Co-Operative Credit Union, Sister Tira Samuel. Tira, welcome to Lunch with TCCU.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And I am grateful for you to mention that I'm very youthful.
You are. So today we're talking all things youth, how to get involved in the credit union, what it's like being a young person being involved in the credit union. I think a lot of us, when we hear credit union, we think, oh, that's for older persons.
Yes.
But that is not the case. We do have a lot of young members serving the credit union, and I want to highlight that part, serving the credit union, not just being members. So they are actively involved in the growth of the credit union that they are a part of. So to get us started, can you tell us what inspired you to become a member of the Teachers Credit Union?
So let me actually go back to you saying that, we thought that, credit unions are for older persons, because that is a fact. But my mom is a teacher, so
Yes.
I've really been a part of the credit union since I was young.
Yeah.
But at the time of me actually getting into credit union, she always like, you have a credit union account. And I used to be like, that's for old people kind of thing. But, thankfully she had already set me up. So we already had that conversation about getting a credit union account and what the benefits are to have a
Yes.
credit union account and what it can do for me in the future. So I had one, yes, when I was younger, she was responsible for it. But when I got older and I was actually exploring what I can do in terms of my financial responsibilities, she definitely guided me towards ensuring that I kept my credit union account here active and up to date and so forth.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Mommy. And to all the parents who ensure that, you start your children out financially sound, to have a financially sound future by joining them in the Teachers Credit Union early. Why do you think it's important for young people to get involved in the credit union movement?
Young people bring fresh ideas, and that's really just the simple fact of it. Anywhere you go, the newer person is always going to have the fresh ideas. So while we are grateful to the other persons who would have been in the credit union and made it for what it is, we need to have that new perspective, that new energy to any organization, and it benefits the credit union. As I mentioned, it also changes the outlook on what we think the credit union is about. So it shifts that narrative, and when you see more younger persons involved, you're like, okay, well, this is something for me. And it makes it a lot easier, because I know having that credit union conversation, shares, dividends, and it can be confusing.
Yes, a little overwhelming sometimes, yes.
So having somebody who could, as I like to say, dumb it down for you,
Yes.
and even somebody on your level who can speak your lingo to make you understand these things a lot better, it's more encouraging. So I do encourage younger persons. I think it's very important for us to ensure that we are a part of the credit union movement, to see how it benefits us, how it make things work out for us. It's much better than,
Yes.
Yes, so it's definitely important for the fresh ideas
Yes.
that we can bring to the organization.
And you mentioned it being better than a bank. You tried to whisper it, but I'm going to call you out on it. In your opinion, what makes a credit union different, or, a little bit, we don't want to brag a little, but we can, different from other financial institutions such as a bank?
It's owned by us.
Yeah.
And because it's member owned and it's member focused, we have control over, where our monies are going. We have a say over what our monies are doing for us and how we're going to make it work for us. As compared to a bank, you put your monies there and whatever happens to it happens
Yes.
to it. And then the interest rates as well, you can't say no, they're a lot better as well. So when you're considering things for your future, like you're building your home, you want to get your vehicle, you want to go and study, it puts you in a better position as compared to going to a bank and setting up.
And let's not forget the dividends.
And it pays you back.
Pays you back because you're an owner When you become a member of the credit union, you're owner of the credit union, and of course, you share in the surplus that is made by the credit union. Um, what has I mentioned in the intro that you are the chairperson of the Education and Marketing Committee here at the credit union. Can you tell us how you got involved in that and what it's been like serving?
Okay, so I got involved actually because I applied for a bursary.
Yes.
So I actually came because I was doing my studies in my bachelor's, and I came to get my bursary. I did my bursary interview, and during that interview, they then explained, it's a good opportunity for me to volunteer, and I really liked what it was about and what it was supposed to do, and how we can reach persons. And as we mentioned before, having a younger person on these type of committees, it brings fresh ideas. So you see where the gaps are and how you can fill it. So I actually came on as a secretary, and then I was able to move up as the chair. And it's definitely something that has helped in terms of not even just for me within the credit union, but it has helped me personally in terms of your leadership skills, even organizing, getting people together, but your leadership skills are very important. It is definitely something that has grown me as a leader, and also, put me on that platform where you have these conversations, you can speak about the credit union, you're part of the movement, and it builds that confidence in the credit union.
Okay, so you mentioned, being a part of the committee and how it has helped you personally. So can you highlight some of the skills you've gained from serving and some of the experiences that you've had from being a part of the Education and Marketing Committee?
So skills, as I mentioned before, definitely would be leadership, and that's something that you can copy throughout every aspect of your life. It's a great skill to always have, to be able to walk into a room, command a room, and even organizational skills, teamwork, being able to work with others, being able to pull things together, see it come into fruition. Like, these are things that we definitely would have learned while working on the community. And in terms of experience, so I can tell you of a memorable experience, specifically traveling for the TCCU last year. So I was a part of the cohort that went for St. Vincent, and it was something that was completely different. It was an amazing experience being able to meet with other persons, especially younger people, and we're actually seeing throughout the region how many young people are involved in the credit union. So that was really refreshing to see. So being able to see that the credit union not only is within the country, but it expands beyond and it goes throughout the Caribbean. Seeing that passion for the credit union and the cooperative movement was very refreshing. Also hearing about the different ways that the credit union functions in these different places, I am telling you, it was a different experience. It was a great experience, but it also reinforces the fact that while we may be small islands, the impact of the credit union is very significant. Yes. And it continues to be significant and far-reaching.
Yes. Very good. So you hear that not only do you get to build on your leadership skills by serving, but you also get experiences to travel, represent your credit union, represent the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines at these regional and international conferences. Now, what advice would you give to someone, a young person who is a member of the credit union and they want to get more involved? What advice would you give to them?
I always say that you have to start where the opportunities are available to you. So you can come into the credit union. You can even raise your hand and indicate we are always looking for persons to join our committees and be volunteers. We are always doing these outreach programs. We even have our youth groups. It all depends on what your age range is. But, you just raise your hand and we will be so happy to welcome you. So, you just let us know, hey, I'm interested in doing this. I want to be a part of this. And we will induct you wherever we can.
Yes. And just to jump off of your point that you made, it's important to indicate your interest in serving and being a part of the leadership of the credit union and moving it forward. And you can do that through the various committees that we have at the credit union. We have the Supervisory and Compliance Committee, we have the Credit Committee, we have the Education and Marketing Committee, and there's also the Board of Directors. So I would encourage you to look out for our nominations forms. Those come out before our AGM, and at AGM, which is our annual general meeting, which will be happening soon, you are you will be voted. You can be nominated from the floor to be a part of these committees and get involved in serving. Before we wrap up, I want to get your thoughts on what excites you most about, the future of the credit union movement when young people become involved.
What excites me most would be the recognition of the value that young persons actually bring to the organization. I look forward to see more young people and young members take a more active role in leadership within the credit union, because that is going to help to shape what our movement looks like and what the credit union is going to look like years and years and years from now. Because it's not just for as we used to mention, not for the older person. It's really about our future and what our future is going to look like. So I definitely would encourage our youths to, take a more active role, raise your hand, participate in the credit union, so that we would have a better, more relaxed and more comfortable future once they are involved.
Okay, great. Sister Tira, thank you so much for being
Thank you for
here
having me.
on this episode of Lunch with TCCU. We thank you, our viewers, for sharing your lunch with us today. Remember, share this video with your friends. If you know of someone who's interested in being a part of the credit union movement, they're interested in membership, or if they are already a member and they're interested in serving, please do share this video with them. If you have questions, remember, even though the live has ended, you can still place those questions in the comment section and we will answer them. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on Lunch with TCCU.
SVG TCCU Limited introduces its Access 365 mobile app. Visit the Google Play Store or Apple Store and download today. You can make transfers, pay bills, and so much more. SVG TCCU Limited, providing you with Access 365 via our mobile app, online banking, and ATM service. SVG TCCU Limited, built by teachers for all Vincentians.